Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, at the request of channel supporter Spunky, I am playing 4-color, no black, Loam Bant. If you're new to my channel, I'll give you a quick history lesson. I'm recording this, it's early June of 2022. Back in August of 2021, so almost a year ago, I was super into Bant control with back to basics and Uro and endurance and just 3 colors. And then the meta shifted and we realized we couldn't beat Death and Taxes anymore. We couldn't beat Delver anymore. And the way to fix a lot of those matchups was we needed more engines and more powerful spells. Control deck started adding a 4th color. Bant deck started adding a 4th color. And then in a conversation with Zach Allen, he suggested the possibility of just jamming Field of the Dead into your Uro decks, since you're making land drops anyway, and eventually those land drops are no good. And you can literally turn land drops into a win condition in a control deck that is full of answers and a powerful creature that hits extra land drops. Life from the Loam was already coming up as something that we might want to try in these 4-color decks to beat the Wasteland decks, and it all just came together. And I unveiled this monster originally at the Legacy Pit Open in September of 2021, where I lost playing for top 8 2 in a row. I had 2 win-ins and lost them both, unfortunately. But the deck has endured, Spunky being its #1 fan throughout this time, and he's continued working on it even after I've kind of moved off of the 4-color Bant shell, because frankly, it's terrible against Jeskai. But Jeskai is shifting. It's more on Ruination and Narset stuff than it is about like Blood Moon these days. And Ruination's a brutal card, but there are 3 basics and Life from the Loams in this deck. We can come back. And we've got 4 Narsets of our own. That's just how we're building the deck now. In the olden days, we played 2 or 3 Endurance, but now Narset stock is just way up. We got Pyroblast in the main deck. Court of Grace in the sideboard is not messing around for control mirrors. A lot's changed in the composition of this deck, and the metagame settled down a little bit on the hate. There was about 2 months there where even touching a 4-color pile was just insane because every deck was gunning for your mana base. And we sort of settled out of that. The metagame's moved on. And now if you have a reasonable Delver matchup and a reasonable Jeskai matchup, you could pretty much hang with in Legacy with a deck like this. 4 Pyroblasts across the 75 helps a lot in both of those matchups, Delver and Jeskai. Supreme Verdict is back. This is a card that I always love jamming into my Legacy control decks. It's been unpopular for the last year or so because before Endurance and Uro, control decks were blue-white based, and then they splashed into red or green or whatever they were doing. Now control decks are blue-green based, and white is the splash, and casting a double white spell is kind of a lot to ask. But we got Timeless Dragon now, who loves searching your deck for planes, get more white sources into the deck while also adding more threats. I love the glow-up Timeless Dragon has had. People ignored this card for almost a year, and now it's just a control staple in Legacy. Hitting your land against Delver, like hitting your land drops is the first phase of the game, and then controlling the board is the second phase of the game. And you can eternalize this for 4, cycle it on turn 2 or 3, help get the mana to get to turn 4, eternalize it, which is not a spell, it's an activated ability. Then you just get a 4/4 flyer that they can't counter to put in front of Dragon's Rage Channelers and Delvers. And they'll have to 2-for-1 themselves by attacking into it, finishing it off with a bolt, or they have to have something specific like Brazen Borrower, or they have to just accept that it's in play and try to go bigger with Murktide Regent. It's very good in that matchup. Between the 2 Loam's main and the 2 Carpet of Flowers in the sideboard, 1 is the more common number of carpets these days, but Spunky's got 2. You're really trying to make sure your mana doesn't get cut out from under you, because that is how you lose against Delver. If you're casting your spells and so are they, you're probably favored, but they do have Daze and Wasteland and ways to make that not the case anymore. So double carpet, not messing around. Also helps in Jeskai mirror, or not mirror, but like the Jeskai matchup where they're trying to attack your mana. A carpet can just shrug off a Ruination if they have 3 islands in play. You just keep playing. It's good shit. All the choices in this deck make a lot of sense. Spunky has been putting in the work with it, and I'm here to try it out today. Spunky, this is your current June of 2022 take on Loam Bant. Let's do it. I'm on the draw in round 1. I can't keep this 6-lander. Cephalic Coliseum, forgot to talk about that in the deck tech. This card, I'm not going to spend too much time on it right now because my clock's running, but once you get Threshold, cashing in your lands for actual cards, like casting Life from Loam, getting 3 lands, Cephalic Coliseum, draw 3 cards, discard the 3 lands you just got, completely bonkers. With Narset in play, it's kind of a instant speed mind twist. You could just like hit your opponent for draw 3, discard 3 when they can't actually draw 3. Just really cool tech. I hope it comes up in the league. This hand is much better. I'm going to keep this one, and I believe I'm sending Field of the Dead. That's a thing I want later, and between Ponder and Timeless Dragon, we got land drops coming. Eldrazi Temple. What year is it? Well, I'm glad there are 2 Supreme Verdicts in my 75. Yeah, back in the old blue-white Legacy Control days, this was one of the matchups that was favored for blue-white control, but always a little bit scary. It depends entirely on how hard they come out of the gates. Maybe I should have pondered there off of a basic. I didn't want to expose myself to Wasteland, but now I'm exposed to Thought-Knot Seer, which was going to happen anyway. And now that I found my land, I'm probably not going to Timeless Dragon. I'm probably, if they leave Ponder, I'm going to Ponder looking for Plows. They probably just want to take Ponder now that they've seen Plow. Or not seen Plow, but like know that I'm a Plow deck. Eldrazi is an aggro deck, like a true aggro deck in the Legacy format. So they're probably going to prioritize efficient interaction for me. I would take the Ponder here. Let's see what they do. They took Timeless Dragon. Okay. Deal. All right, I get 5 looks at Swords to Plowshares this turn. Draw step plus the Ponder plus the shuffle. If I can plow this Thought-Knot, it's that Cephalic Coliseum. It is not for this matchup, that's for certain. All right, Ponder, help me out here. We got there. Oh, and Uro too. Hell yeah. Okay. There's no basic planes in the deck, so at this point, Wasteland is as Wasteland does. Maybe I should have put the Forest above the Uro because they have a second Thought-Knot Seer. That's actually really bad. Oh, good. It's just Reality Smasher. All right, so I can exile the Smasher. I can exile the Mimic. Smasher has Trample. Mimic does not. Mimic will be smaller in the future, theoretically. And I'm going to let this resolve because I can respond. Oh, I can take 10, go to 5, get rid of Thought-Knot Seer, draw an extra card. I can take 9, go to 6, and get Smasher out of play, and then Thought-Knot Seer and Mimic are chilling. Do I want the extra card? I think I do. Go to 5, and then Uro puts me up to 8. Basic Forest, shit. I'm almost at a spot where I can Mystic Sanctuary my Plow back. Do I just have to maximize my life total here at the expense of everything else? If I do that, then Smasher is the take. Okay, I am gonna take the Smasher. And I have to discard a card. It has, like, what is now Ward. It's only spell, though, so it's not quite Ward. But if you target Reality Smasher with a spell, you have to discard a card or it's countered. I'm going to discard Cephalic Coliseum. That also means I don't get the Forest on top of my deck. I'm going to have to fetch and then Uro. Alright, maybe I was supposed to take Thought-Knot Seer just for the extra card, no matter what. The game uses last known information that the Smasher was a 5/5 for Mimic, so killing it in response to the trigger doesn't matter. Back in the standard days of the Eldrazi deck, Dismember was also legal, and dismembering a Reality Smasher with a trigger on the stack, the game remembered Smasher being a 0/0, and you would get people all the time when they say, like, use Mimic, and you're like, okay, it's dead. I don't believe, like, the only way this works is if my opponent just literally has nothing, and even then, it's not a good scene for me. Anything that makes this Mimic bigger, I'm dead on board. I assume Heshep Oasis is so you can occasionally cast your Once Upon a Times. I don't think they actually have enough green sources to activate this thing, unless they play like Yavimaya. Urborg has been played in Eldrazi decks in the past to turn on Eye of Ugin and stuff for normal mana. So I guess Yavimaya is optional if you want to actually activate this thing ever. Reshaper 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I'm at 1. If I draw Basic Forest and escape Uro, I'm still dead. Yep, not looking good here, team. But I would have been dead this turn if I killed Thought Not Seer, but I would have drawn an extra card. I don't know. All right. Now we know what we're up against. We can mulligan better and get that extra Supreme Verdict into the deck. I have not seen this deck in so long. Like, once in a while you see a deck and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that one is still around, but I have not seen Eldrazi in so long. I genuinely can't remember the last time I saw this deck. Okay, Pyroblast is bad. Force of Negation is bad. They are a Chalice of the Void deck, but I have Prismatic Endings and stuff for that. Do I want Serenity? Do I want Seeds? I have more cards that I'm cutting than I'm bringing in. Yeah, this deck is clearly not mapped out for the Eldrazi matchup, which is not a surprise to me. I can't bring in Court of Grace because their deck's full of creatures, and some of them have Trample and Haste. That's a no. I think I'll bring in Serenity. Or, I don't know that I can wait a turn for Serenity to pop. I think Seeds is probably better. So I have something I can rip towards. If my hand is just like 2 plows versus a Chalice, I can rip Seeds and unload all at once. Okay, let's do it. I'm leaving in the Forces. They are a Cavern of Souls deck, but I'm a Wasteland deck, and they won't always have Cavern, and they do have Chalice that I care about, so Force of Will's good enough. And like we saw, I'm not exactly flush with sideboard cards to bring in here. Oof. This hand risks a lot versus a Wasteland, but Prismatic Ending, Uro, Supreme Verdict are all of the cards that I would want in this matchup. I'm going to keep. This is really dangerous, but I'm hoping that this Ponder just shows me 3 lands. All right, I'll take 2. 2 lands is a start. Triome, ETB tap, doesn't matter that much. I'm not really doing anything on 2 mana. I don't think I force a Chalice here, because it depends on if they... All right. Ketria Triome, get in there. I don't really want the Endurance on top of my deck, but I do want to cast Uro next turn. And Endurance isn't bad. Like, it does tangle with medium-sized creatures. Beats Matter Reshaper. So leading on Eldrazi Temple like this, if they have Cavern, they can only cast a 3-drop. I can force a Thought Not Seer. Alright, Endurance does Brick Mimic. And I'm going to force this Pitching Force. Finding a target for Force of Will is always real nice in these matchups, because it's not guaranteed. Okay, do I want to get Uro moving, or do I want to Prismatic Ending this Mimic? Just get that out of the way. I think I want to get Uro moving and just try to get up to Supreme Verdict. But Basic Plains doesn't cast the back half of Uro, but it does lock me in for Supreme Verdict and removal for the rest of the game. That's tricky. I think I would like to cast this Uro at some point. Oh, I'm getting Tundra on White Source. White card. All right, so Uro missed its land drop, so they know I don't have a land coming. My hand is very good unless they waste me off white right now. Okay, that's not a Wasteland. We can Smasher here. We can Endless one for 6. Eternal Scourge. That's weird. Or are they like a Serum Powder version of this deck? Oh wow, their hand is not good. Or they're saving up for the future. What do you not cast on 6 mana, though? And just leave 2 mana unspent? Alright, deck, let's fucking go. Help me out here. Uh-oh. Oh, I guess we're chilling. Swords to Plowshares. And the Endurance does tangle with Eternal Scourge extremely well. This is how you lose this matchup, though. You miss your land drops and can't cast your spells. You just die with 4 removal spells, including 2 Wraths in play against the creature aggro deck. A Shep Oasis. Reality Smasher. Okay. That's in. I'm going to use Endurance first. That's the less mana efficient thing. I think I'm going to target nobody because graveyards, they don't use their graveyard and I do use mine. Block the 3/3. I go to 8. And come on, white source. White mana! Alright, Brainstorm. Help me out here, B-Storm. Okie dokie. We're moving again. I think I'm going to hide one of the Supreme Verdicts and the Mystic Sanctuary. And then we can just hold up double plow. Or I could, ending the Mystic, so I don't need to kill the Mimic. Mystic? Mimic. Whatever this thing is. Got 3 cards in their hand. That's so many. Alright. I'm just going to pass with double plow to protect myself. I can Uro next turn. So I got to survive this turn and then slam Uro. That's the plan. Just Reality Smasher attacking. I'm going to plow this and discard Prismatic Ending. Trying to imagine what's in their hand right now that they haven't just slammed creatures into play. There were this turn and that other turn where they Eternal Scourged were both really awkward. Walking Ballista for 1. Okay. Yeah, something weird's going on over there. Okay, I want to draw Mystic Sanctuary. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, I can Mystic Sanctuary, Swords to Plowshares back to the top of my deck. Yes, and then I can blue, blue, green, green, Uro into play for Xaxes. And now my hand has 2 spot removal spells. I have the biggest creatures in play. And my life total is going up. I am not going to attack with Endurance just yet, because they are also a Caracas deck. I don't want to be totally shields down. Food Chain. What the fuck? Oh, okay. That's really cool. Big fan. I can Swords to Plowshares Mimic in response and try to cut this off at the knees. I guess if you have Eternal Scourge and Ballista in your deck. Alright, yeah, alright. Story checks out. I can hit Mimic and just try to... Alright. Yeah, I'm going to hope the last 2 cards in their hand don't make infinite mana. I grab Savannah. Allow the Mimic, because that costs the most. Okay, what do you got? Hopefully the answer of what you got is a Food Chain in play. Okay, deal. Prismatic Ending, that can kill Food Chain. Alright, I'm just attacking with my creatures now. Uro should outpace most of their ability to attack, plus I still have a grip full of removal spells. Green Food Chain Eldrazi. Got me good. Blue, white, green. Yeah, let's get rid of that before it does anything. My Mystic Sanctuary is already in play, so this Flooded Strand is just a Flooded Strand. I'm not going to crack it. Well, they did have the Eternal Scourge. They must have just drawn this because they had mana to do it last turn. I bet they're a Serum Powder deck too. Serum Powder and multiple Eternal Scourges in your combo aggro deck. That's pretty cool. Alright, if they're going to ratchet up Walking Ballista, I'm going to plow it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're still pretty far away from activating Eye of Ugin. Narset? That's good shit. Do I want to Uro first or Narset first? If Narset finds Loam, I'm going to wish I Narseted first. Alright. Blue, blue, white. Narset, activate you. Prismatic Ending, not helpful here. Do I want to attack with Endurance, or do I want to protect Narset? +3/+3 does not give trample. Alright, just Uro. Right on time. Life from the Loam. Crack my fetch. I'm going to get basic planes at this point. make sure that that's set up, and then loam my 2 lands, set up basic forest. The food chain is scary. I would feel like I could not lose a game against typical Eldrazi here, but if they have the combo set up, like half the pieces there. Uh-oh. Well, do you have Walking Ballista? Because I'm out of answers. Oh no. God, I hope this is just like... I don't know what I want this to be. I hope it's just like Thought-Knot or Reality Smasher. Whatever this is, it was a top deck. In like Emrakul or Ulamog are pretty bad. I mean, Emrakul is just lethal. Ulamog's bad, but might be beatable. I don't know, they're going pretty big here. They went past 15 mana. We're up to 18 now. It's not Emrakul. We're just going for like the world's biggest endless one. It's either Walking Ballista. They either like have it or they have endless one. Nothing else makes sense here. Can't activate Ivugan with this mana. So just to catch everyone up, I exiled their food chain. I killed their Walking Ballista. And now 2 turns later, they have in their 3-card hand, food chain, Eternal Scourge, Walking Ballista. Good shit. Well, they've made upwards of 50 mana at this point. Like nothing that they would be... Nothing requires 50 mana. This feels like the world's biggest endless one. Oh, here comes the X spell. Is it endless one or is it Ballista? Disappointing. All right. Well, fuck me then. Yeah, I mean, their deck's really cool. Just chucking this combo into this aggro deck where game 1, they just ran me over with Thought-Knot Seers. Game 2, they combo killed me. But also, the run goods are real. They had nothing 2 turns ago, and now all 3 of their cards are exactly 3 cards. Like, if they just draw a land there, I think I win. Whatever. That's magic. On to the next one. I'm on the play in round 2. This hand is a perfectly defensible legacy control hand. I think I'm going to start with Volcanic Island, because that's the one I care the least if it gets wastelanded. And I would like to ponder here. I don't know what I'm playing against yet, but ponder is the start. I've also been playing a lot of Delver in paper lately, and maybe I can trick my opponent into thinking I'm doing that. I do like this ponder. I don't like the 2 lands, or the 1 land that would have to come with it. I'm going to shuffle. Got the land anyway. Amy. Prismatic Vista. Okay. Prismatic Ending. So you can win the Prismatic Mirror here. Okay, these are good cards. I want Uro first. I want EI under it. And then I'm going to shuffle away the Prismatic Ending under the EI next turn before casting Uro. There is some argument to start with Narset here instead of Uro, but I like the Uro advantage. Just pulling ahead on mana in this. If this is a control mirror, it could be like show and tell. But I like that Uro gets me a card even if it's countered, even if they have Swords of Plowshares here, I'm up, like getting the mana advantage. I'm just telling you the text on Uro right now. I hope it's helpful. Okay, we have some sort of crazy promo island, secret lair island. Looking like Jeskai over there. Okay. Some sort of Jeskai iteration deck. Found a basic mountain. And looks like we're going to discard. I always say it. I love an anticipate in Legacy. When EI turns into an anticipate, sign me up. Okay, I can cycle Timeless Dragon and then play Narset. I can EI. EI plays into Pyroblast. The Pyroblast is the only thing they can really have here, but Narset and EI both play into Pyroblast. Alright. I'm going to EI. If something's getting Pyroblasted, I prefer it be that over Narset. Force of Negation, pitching Force of Will. Alright. Not playing over there. I'm going to fetch. I can't get Mystic Sanctuary here because my plan is to Timeless Dragon and hit my land drop. I can get basic Island, basic Forest. I don't really expect Ruination or Blood Moon in a main deck. So this is probably my time to go ham with my mana. And then in the post-board games, I have to think about it more. Tundra. The last plane's in my deck, apparently. Good to know. I did just fetch Savannah when I could have gotten Trop instead. Another iteration. It's recouping those force losses over there. On the land. Oh, fuck. Well, there's Timeless Dragon that we just determined doesn't do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is a 5/5. Does still have that text on it. I'm going to play Narset. We flushed out 2 forces last turn. All right, cool. No Pyroblast. Grab a Ponder. Still have land drops to make. I'm going to cast Ponder. Nice. All right. I think I'd rather have Force in my hand than these lands. I can skip a land drop to put my shields up for a turn. Word of Grace, are you kidding me? Well. Oh, wait. Yeah. I mean, Narset controls the Monarch part of it, but I can't really beat the creatures either. Okay, activating Narset will clear the Mystic Sanctuary from the top of my deck. Is that something I want to do? I could also Uro first, draw Mystic Sanctuary, play Sanctuary, put Force on top, and Narset into it. I have to assume they have a Swords to Plowshares over there. Alright, I still like Uro. Green, green, blue, blue. Okay, here's Uro. Getting Swords to Plowshare immediately. No surprise there. Yep, it's out of there. Mystic Sanctuary, put Force of Will on top of my deck. Narset. Look at all these cards. It's still Force of Will. Force of Negation, though. I can hard cast that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Alright, yeah, I like Force of Negation better, actually. Now that we're here. Yeah, Brainstorm resolves. I have Narset in play. I think we're going to get a Shame Concede. Yep. Yeah, they said in the chat their kids just woke up from a nap and don't know what's going on right now. Okay. We've all been there. Been so excited that, oh good, Brainstorm, and you just fucking slam it into a Narset. I've done it. I'm not too proud. Court of Grace, all the rebs. The carpets come in. What is not as good here? Swords to Plowshares, probably. The endings, like, I do want to respect their planeswalkers, but they will kind of gum up the hand, and Pyroblast does a lot of that work. I don't think I need Supreme Verdict. The basic planes is tempting. I have to imagine some amount of land hate is coming in. Lusterstorm and basic planes are both defensible here. I'm not leaving in Verdict to fight Court of Grace tokens because my plan is to keep Court of Grace out of play. I'm leaving in all 6 forces against the fair matchup because there are aspects of it that are unfair. Endurance, they probably have Timeless Dragons. Endurancing myself is always a thing that is nice. Yeah, I think I just have to leave this as it is. Using Caracas to protect my Uro is a thing, so like switching Caracas for basic planes. Oh, I could switch Wasteland for basic planes. That's probably an upgrade. Alright, I'm gonna do this. This hand, Brainstorm is good, Wasteland's bad, Court of Grace is phenomenal, Pyroblast is good, but I can't cast it. I'm gonna keep. Just gonna trust my opponent to give me time to let this come together in this control mirror. Starting off with a Ponder, I'm jealous. Prismatic Ending, bummer. And I'm gonna pass here. I'm not firing off a Brainstorm on turn 1. That's not how you do it. Well, cool thing about these decks that are full of basics is that they're not really built to survive getting wastelanded, because they're built to ignore wasteland. So when you do wasteland, it's frequently catastrophic. And I hope that's the case here. This just lets me replay that last turn again, but a card deeper. All right, Brainstorm, it's time for you to do your thing. Oh, sweet relief. I'm gonna get rid of at least one of these Prismatic Endings, probably both. So let's be serious. I want this Court of Grace. Aggressively want that card available to me at all times. I could get rid of an Uro, because if they have Surgical, Uro's a problem. Alright, I'm going to put back the endings and hold up the fetch land. What they do this turn will inform whether I need to fetch white or red. But holding up Pyroblast as they go into turn 3. Oh, look at this, missing a land drop. I'm going to fetch. Maybe I should have gotten Triome while the getting was good. in the end step there, but that still doesn't make white. I am going to get Volcanic Island. I just think holding up the red is too important. Right, basic forest means I can slam Endurance in the end step. Uh-oh. Found not only a land, but Plateau, which is both the missing colors. Life just got challenging. I'm going to counter target spell if it's blue. I can back this up with Force of Will if I need to. Kind of sucks I can't just ram Court of Grace here. We're getting closer, though. I think rather than Uro, I want to hold up Endurance, because if my opponent rams Court of Grace here, I can take the Monarch. Narset. I'm going to let Endurance finish her off. Respond to the activation with Endurance. Don't know if you use your graveyard, but I'm getting rid of it all the same. Some of these decks have Snapcaster Mage in them. Found a Ponder, and was not able to land plow me this turn. Oh, my very own. I'm going to take out yours first. Endurance is big old booty in these control matchups is so nice. And I'm going to get my own Narset in while I can. Oh, Carpet. Do I want Carpet or Brainstorm? Carpet can let me just unload next turn, but yeah, Brainstorm is just really fucking good. Teferi. I don't like this, but maybe it's fine. Oh, I can fetch Mystic Sanctuary and Brainstorm into Pyroblast. 1, 2, 3. But then I have no white mana, and this Court of Grace is never happening. Like if Teferi bounces Endurance, alright, I'm going for this. And the Teferi bounce doesn't draw a card, but if Teferi resolves, I can at least make a fight out of this. Like what I'm worried about is Teferi resolving, and then a Pyroblast on Narset, Teferi bounces Endurance, then I'm suddenly way behind. So I can force the action on Pyroblast now. Do I want to force Pyroblast and let my Brainstorm resolve, or just force Teferi? Though now that they're tapped out, I'm less worried about this. Okay, yeah, the Brainstorm, I'm going to let Teferi resolve. Because I'm drawing Pyroblast. If Teferi bounces Endurance, they don't draw a card because of Narset. Alright, yeah. Endurance is bounced, but you don't get a card. That's fine. That was never really my concern. Great, Narset, let's go. Life from the Loam. Yes. Life from the Loam. Target Wasteland and these other lands. Wasteland. Take out your Plains, or Plateau, whatever that card is. And I just sequenced it wrong. I should have played another land first and then Uro'd the Wasteland in. Whoops. I just got so fucking excited to Wasteland this deck again. You still have Force of Will in my hand for emergencies. Blood Moon. Does this count as an emergency? Probably. I don't have my basic planes in play yet. I don't have the Carpet. Yeah, alright. I'll fight over the Blood Moon. Do I want... Alright, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I can Uro and Court of Grace this turn. I am not going to Dredge Loam. Nice. Flooded Strand, and then 1, 2, 3. Uro. Puts the other land into play. Oop. Basic Plains. Yep, you're up. And I think slamming Court is better than escaping Uro. Give them a dose of their own medicine here. And Monarch find a blue card for force? Nope. Alright. So if they slam Court of Grace this turn, they can take Monarch the hard way. Pyroblast Narset, sure, that unlocks the Ponders. Hopefully it's too late for this to really matter. Ponder into Brainstorm. This all happens. Found a land. 2 cards left in hand right now. They know I have Endurance. I'm starting to make 4/4s. Still not dredging Loam. That doesn't help me here. Speak of the devil. If I escape Uro, blue, green, green. I am still holding up Force of Negation mana. Blue, green. I'm going to exile Loam since I already have one. The other one's in my hand. I have no land to put into play. Do I want to slam my Narset here and just keep the door completely closed? I'm going to fetch and get a blue source that casts Narset. I am going to cast Narset. I'm just trying to pile on right now. I mean, the shields are clearly down. There's 3 Pyroblasts in my deck. Any blue card turns on Force of Negation. Wow, my Uro. Yeah, that's fine. Damage is done there. Okay, Force of Negation. I'm going to get another one of those. I don't need Ponder. Like, I have plenty of access to cards right now. Okay, now I can pitch EI to Force, and then next turn hold up Force, and that should be enough to get through the Angels. Yep, my opponent asked about fitting Mystic Sanctuary and Basic Plains in the same deck, and the Plains came out of the sideboard, obviously, but it replaced another, you know, air quotes, colorless land, or land that doesn't feed Mystic Sanctuary. And you can't put, like, Basic Mountain in your Delver deck if you're planning on playing Mystic Sanctuary, because that deck is really trying to stop at 4 lands. Without Mystic Sanctuary, it usually tried to stop at 3, but this is a deck that's trying to play to 7, 9, 12 lands in play, so Mystic Sanctuary will eventually pay out. They're just different kind of deck building rules when you're playing to turn 10 rather than turn 5. Well, that was a sweet one. On to the next round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. On the draw for the 3rd round, I'm going to keep this hand. This hand is a bruiser in any fair matchup, and we are dead if they're Reanimator. Arid Mesa. That's not a land you usually see in Legacy. Uh-oh. Oh, this is Goblins. Okay. Got it. The intersection of decks that have Badlands and Aether Vial in it is very small. Swords of Plowshares I'm happy to see. I'm going to spend this turn pondering. I'm going to get basic because they are a Wasteland deck. And with Loam, I'll be able to unlock my colors when I need them. Prismatic Ending, Uro, Swords of Plowshares. F, yeah. Wish I had double white in play, but hopefully we can wade through these creatures before it's too late. Cavern of Souls. I was not on the counterspell half of the deck. We're cool there. Another Vial. Okay. That helps me ignore the Vial, because now they have 2 of them. That's not a pinch point. What I was worried about this turn was ending the Vial, and they Vial in Goblin Lackey. But they don't have that. Now I'm worried about Wasteland because they didn't put a creature in at all. They could be loading up like a... Oh god, you have unlicensed hearse in your main deck? Yeah, welcome to Goblins in 2022. This is a thing they're doing. Okay, just slamming the hearse before I cycle my Timeless Dragon is a gift. Alright, cycle Dragon. I think I want Tundra because I already have a bunch of green sources in my hand. Slide that little dragon right past the car. Tundra, and then white, blue, get rid of the car, because that card is not beatable. I'm a Loam Uro Timeless Dragon deck. Just main deck graveyard hate. No thanks. Wow, nothing came out of the vials yet. And they missed a land drop last turn, so their hand is just gassed up with ringleaders and shit. On a land, it's the cavern. Here we go. Start the fireworks. This could be War Chief, and then they cast Ringleader. It's Matron. This matchup sucks, by the way, in case anyone was wondering. Dark Bant gets Witherbloom Command to help deal with the Aether Vials, and you get the Plague Engineers out of the sideboard. This deck is just on 1-for-1 action. Okay, here's the Chieftain they just tutored. Something else coming out of the Vial on 2. I'm going to plow Chieftain before combat. That saves me 4 damage. Now I'm faced with the interesting choice of deploying a 4/4 creature or holding up interaction for another turn. Oh, I could Uro and plow. That's really tempting. But so is the 4/4. Yeah, I think I need a body on this board. It's Timeless Dragon time. It's time for no time. Timeless. Nobody has any time. Here's a 4/4. They could reasonably get 4 goblins into play this turn, and Munitions Expert, my creature. Just gonna hope that doesn't happen. You vial in the ringleader that you obviously have, and then any 3-drop gets you the answer to my dragon. It did tick vial up to 3 though, so they have to cast the munitions expert. I'm not sure that matters, but it's true. Comes a 3-drop. Matron. Okay, if we didn't have ringleader already, we do now. Or you could get the munitions expert. Oh, sling gang, we're just going wide. Okay. Is there a combo kill here? Or you already have munitions expert? Oh, gem palm incinerator. Yeah, that does give you 1,000,000 goblins. All right. That works too. Attacking for 1, and then I can... Ooh. Ending... I have to get Uro moving this turn. Just deciding if I want to ponder first. If ponder hits any land, that gets me the double hit. Yeah, I am going to ponder. Well, we missed. Does double plow help me here? Does endurance help me here? I'm going to shuffle. Okay, got there on the land. I'm not going to get Mystic Sanctuary here. I don't believe that helps me at all. It's Savannah or Volcanic Island. I'm about to put Ketria Triumph into play, so I don't need the red. Guess it is Savannah. And I'm going to Swords to Plowshare, Sling Gang, Lieutenant, and see how deep they want to go. How many goblins do you want to sacrifice on the way out here? Just the 1. Okay. A responsible choice. Uro, bring me up to 19 life. Put this Ketria Triumph into play. And Uro can escape next turn. But I am under constant duress of these top-end goblins that are in the hand, or at least the reactive goblins, like whatever's going on over there. Another matron. Yep. For another sling gang. Okay. And this is all happening in the upkeep. Oh, because they're trying to tick up to Muxus. Is that what's going on? If this vial goes up to 5, I have to prismatic ending it this turn. All right, yeah. If that goes to 6, I'm definitely dead. So there's a Muxus in hand. There's a Muxus amongst us. This is Chieftain. It doesn't matter. Oh, Pashik Mons. All right, yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, Sling Gang plus Pashik Mons is millions of damage. Because every time a goblin dies, it gets pinged, and this pings to sack a goblin. Yeah, all right. Yeah, weirdly, like this game showcased, you frequently want the turbo lackey hands because you're good at picking those apart. You're very bad at picking apart the top end when they're just tutoring for all the best cards all the time. Basic Plains, Supreme Verdict. No Hydroblast in this deck. I don't think I want Serenity or Chord of Grace. Definitely don't want Pyroblast. That can get out of here. Force Negation's also very bad. This feels much like the Eldrazi matchup, where there's more I want to cut than I want to bring in. I could bring in Seeds or Serenity to clear Aether Vials. I don't like waiting on Serenity, so if I do bring in an answer to that, it would be Seeds. I can't bring in Canonist. Like, even though it's a 2/2 body that can arrive on the board and do stuff, I'm the player who's going to need to be like pondering into Swords to Plowshares, which Canonist turns off. It does not match my role. Their deck's full of haste creatures and creatures in general. I don't think I could bring a Chord of Grace. I guess it's Seeds of Innocence. That feels bad though. But collapsing multiple Aether Vials could be important. Let's do it. This hand does not have green mana, but I am definitely going to keep the Swords to Plowshares hand. Oh, Seeds is actually better than I thought because it also kills the hearse, which they're going to have some number of copies of. All right, yeah, Seeds is the right call. There's a vial. Tundra and pass. This might be an end-step brainstorm situation, because if I can find green, I can Uro into having Swords to Plowshares up and advance my land count for Field of the Dead. Field of the Dead is one of the few like endgame things that can keep up with goblins. All right, well, definitely brainstorming now. Did not find a green source. That's bad. Wasteland and Mystic Sanctuary. Or I'll put back Mystic Sanctuary Wasteland. Probably about to lose the game. I have to hold up Plow, though. Because if Lackey comes out of this thing, I'm just dead. Pile Driver, okay. Well, the vial went up, so I can pile drive this without being worried about Lackey. I could Wasteland Cavern this turn, or Ponder, and I think I need to Ponder. I'd love to find a prismatic ending. Oh god. That's not good, but it is a green source, which unlocks Uro and Loam. Alright, I'll take it and just hope I'm not dead. Uro Loam to go wide with Field of the Dead really is my best plan here. Yeah, if they violin a Haste Lord and then play Lackey, I could get Muxus here. So here it comes. Okay, it's Matron. There's the Haste Lord. And the ability to cast it. Yeah, this is a steamroll. None of this lined up. Just unchecked Aether Vials against the control deck. Really bad news. I'm at 9. OB. Yeah, I know my top card is a land. I can play Narset, hope to spike Swords to Plowshares, and maybe take some of this pressure off. Taking 2 damage from my Cephalid Coliseum over the course of this game is awful. Like, that's the backside. Like, playing techie lands like this isn't free. Not even close to Mystic Sanctuary. Uro, what do? You get me up to 12 life. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Any goblin. Yeah, I think I have to try to take haste off the goblins. Narset, need you to find Plow. And found Force of Will, and we're dead. Yeah, wow. That was a clinic in why splashing black for Plague Engineer is a good idea. But yeah, the Aether Vial going unchecked. I think if I found Prismatic Ending in the first 2 turns, this game is a lot easier. But yeah, that absolute clinic in goblins versus blue decks that can't really control what goblins are trying to do. Really shitty matchup. I'm on the draw in round 4. My opponent revealed Yorion. Every time I've said Yorion is Death and Taxes lately, it's been the Cephalid Coliseum, or not Coliseum, Cephalid Breakfast deck. I'm going to keep this. Even if they are Death and Taxes where the Pyroblast is dead, the Loam is going to be really good for the matchup. Alright. Death and Taxes, finally. I'm going to basic Island Ponder. Force of Will, Force of Negation, Swords of Plowshares. Do I want this at all? Is the question. I want the Plow. I don't want the Forces. If I take Force of Will now, I can pitch Narset, and I'll have Plow up. I think this is just a shuffle, though. This is just bad. Mystic Sanctuary, also bad. I at least have Karakas that can beat up on Thalia. I'm going to play Ketria Triumph. Going to need this green mana to get off the ground here. The main deck Supreme Verdict is pretty nice for this matchup, if we get there. Now there's a Vial on 2. I have to respect Spirit of the Labyrinth, which means I can never cast a Brainstorm. They did just miss a land drop. I don't think that matters, though. I think I gotta deploy Narset and just start looking for action. The Narset's definitely gonna die from whatever comes out of these vials. But I gotta start getting things under control. Our Commando, yep, that's fine. Narset. Prismatic Ending, that is one of the cards I want. Yeah, if I can wasteland them and beat up the vials, then there's a chance here. Because they missed a land drop. Their hand is all cards. Oh no, Mother of Runes. My nightmare. Oh, with Supreme Verdict in the deck, Mom is not as bad. But you do have to survive that long and also have it. Up 3 power creature, take out Narset. I understand. Karakas. Take out the bigger vial. Putting in Flicker Wisp. Is that going to save the vial? It is, okay. And life, do I Wasteland? Prevent the next 2 damage to a legendary creature. Yeah, I'm going to Wasteland. The Violent Thalia here and lock out my Loam. They deserve to win. And I can see the argument that going like down mana when I'm already down this far is not good, but I kind of have to hope that the vials just don't line up well, and I find Supreme Verdict anyway. So going up the card there, I don't regret. Alright, I do have blue, white, white 1, if we can find the Verdict. Oh, there's Thalia. I have Karakas for her. She can jump back out of the vial. Not going to dredge Loam. Come on, deck. That's enough lands. Where's Uro when you need him? Do I want Field of the Dead in play? What am I maximizing for here? I can drop Field of the Dead later. The Mystic Sanctuary is already in my hand, so I'm not like doing anything clever here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess if I don't reveal Field of the Dead, they might not know it's coming. Nothing popped out of the vials that turn. Vials going up to 4. They're working their way towards Yorion. I'm going to bounce Thalia in combat because my life total is more important than spells costing less. And I can still make spells cost less on my turn if I need to, but it would cost less by the amount that Brackus taps for, so pretty awkward. Vial on 4. Shit. Nothing good's going to come out of this. Palace Jailer. Get fucked, me. Another game brought to you by the crushing power of Aether Vial against blue decks. I'm actually going to Pyroblast because having that in my graveyard is worth something. And I guess it could have killed the Yorion as soon as next turn, but I'm not going to get another turn. Like, I need Uro right now. This is the Thalia. If I dredge Uro. So if I dredge, I get more looks at Uro, but I give up on Supreme Verdict or cantrips. I'm going to dredge, looking for Uro, and we missed. All right. Destroyed. Absolutely obliterated. There's multiple Aether Vial losses in a row. Just want to point out, Witherbloom Command out of Dark Bant does a lot of work in those situations. Just being able to clean up random bullshit. Because Dark Bant has the Witherbloom commands and the Prismatic Endings. This build is relying on Prismatic Ending to do that. Okay, Serenity and Seeds are no-brainers here. Court of Grace can be a little risky, but I think is worth having in. I think I like Force of Will, but maybe not as a 4 of. I could go a bit lower on that. Endurance isn't really necessary. It's nice having a flash creature some of the time, but the graveyard stuff really doesn't matter in this matchup. I think given everything, or I just brought in more answers to Vial. I was about to say given everything I just said about Vial, I think I want Forces still in, but I just brought in 2 extra sweepers that hit Vial. Okay, I can keep this one. I like the Serenity. That will catch up with most nonsense. Gonna ponder right away. Loam with no green anywhere to be seen. Swords of Plowshare is very good. Loam, usually very good. All right, we're playing the long game, kids. I'm hoping Serenity and Plow can do most of what I need to do in an early game. That Wasteland's kind of a relief because my next couple draw steps aren't good. It's going to drop Field of the Dead now. Get that into play when I'm not casting spells anyway. Do I want Caracas or Cephalid Coliseum? What would I rather expose to Wasteland? Still have hope for Mystic Sanctuary. Do I have hope for Mystic Sanctuary? All right, I'm going to Caracas. Spirit of the Lab resolves. Serenity kills that. Ooh, Narset. Okay, I'm going to play Mystic Sanctuary. Do I want a Serenity? Or do I want to save that for later? I do have my Endurance that can recycle things later. All right, I'm going to Serenity now. Serenity now! Rooter of the Guard, okay. Are we just speedrunning Palace Jailer? What's the game plan here? This mana base has been so awkward this game. Just the Volcanic Island in a matchup where I've boarded out most of my red spells and all of my ETB tapped lands, and now I'm going to play the land that hurts me every time I tap it. Okay, destroy Spirit of the Labyrinth. That was not a bad draw. It's still Narset time. It's always Narset time. Prismatic Ending was the only choice among a pile of lands. Timeless Dragon can get me green mana. I'm going to let Recruiter poke Narset because that doesn't matter. That Rashad Port's pretty annoying. Can tap my white and then play Stoneforge and like make my mana awkward. Or not. That's cool too. Batterskull and Lion Sash. I can Prismatic Ending one of these things and plow the other. Okay, resolves. I'm just going to plow Stoneforge Mystic now. My opponent's deck doesn't draw cards, so losing Narset is less important than it is in like a blue mirror. I'll just pop her off. Another plow, another ending. I want plow, I believe. Okay, options include, I think there is only one option here, and it's cycling Timeless Dragon to get Savannah. Savannah casts Life from the Loam. Get that going. And then Swords to Plowshares this Lion Sash immediately. Okay. We have Batterskull and 5 other cards in hand versus my grip full of shit. I am threshold, so the Cephalid Coliseum, if there was ever a time. They found Wasteland. Are you going to slam Batterskull? Are you going to waste my green? What's the play here? Flicker Wisp. Resetting Recruiter. Didn't want to attack first. Not interested. I hope I stabilize at 1. Recruiter's back. Palace Jailer. Yikes. I am not going to dredge Loam, because if I do that, they can waste my green source, and then I just have nothing. Very excited about Brainstorm, though. Wasting my green-white source right now. Makes sense. That was my draw step, so I couldn't do anything about that. I could bring back Timeless Dragon and back it up with Force of Will on the Palace Jailer, but that doesn't really do anything. They have so much removal that a 4/4 with no abilities is not going to really change the game. I'm going to go for Brainstorm. Court of Grace. All right, there's Uro. No green mana to cast him. Another Brainstorm. Court of Grace. Court of Grace does like hard steal the Monarch, but I'm not sure if that matters or helps. Put back Plains and Court of Grace, which gives me Prismatic Ending on Flicker Wisp. White, blue, red. I don't like any of this. I am very much just dying from behind. Basically have to force the Palace Jailer. Yeah, look at this. My 4-color mana base, currently incapable of any green. I even have Loam going, but it doesn't matter. Is pitching Uro better than pitching Force? I think, or pitching Brainstorm. I think it is. And I do have to force this because I am dead to it. Right, my top card is Land, Court of Grace. I think I have to dredge Loam. And then Brainstorm, hoping to find green. All right, we got there on the green. Put back Tropical Island and Iteration. And Life from the Loam, target Savannah and Plains. I could Coliseum and turn these into spells, but I don't think that's the play right now. Here's the Batterskull. Trying to be careful of my clock because I'm down a game and down 4 minutes right now. Iteration. Blue, red. Let's go. Narset in my hand. Let us drain on the bottom. Exile Tropical Island. Play the Tropical Island. I'm in the Field of the Dead now. Blue, blue. Cephalid Coliseum hurting me now. Narset, let's go. Find a plow. Found a Loam. Sure. Fucking whatever. Loam with no targets. Pass the turn. Brutal Cathar exiles my zombie, and then they can kill Narset. The good news is Cephalid Coliseum is about to happen. No, you didn't. That was your card? That was the last card you had? Jesus. I got to spike a removal spell. Got there. God. White. Green. Exile Spirit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can Coliseum and still have 7 lands when we make my next one. All right, Uro, let's go, buddy. Discard Loam and Prismatic Ending. Can that be possible? But that's right. Definitely Loam. And I think I do need all of the zombie. Oh, I have to discard 3 cards. Shit. Yeah, that's how this card works. The Plains. Savannah, make a zombie. Uro. Trigger. Get a fetch land. I'm not dredging Loam now. Prismatic Ending. Plow is better to keep around than that. That was a pretty good showcase of Cephalid Coliseum, I gotta say. I do have a Caracas chilling over there, which is rough on my Uro situation. But Loam plus Uro plus Field of the Dead does a lot of work. I'm mostly worried about my clock right now. Porting my Volcanic Island, okay. I'm gonna draw Dredge Loam. And then Loam, green, blue. Alright. Whoa. Alright, green, colorless. Alright, I can do this. Cephalid Coliseum, Triome, Tundra up to my hand. Play the Tundra for turn. Then I have green, blue. Uro. If they Swords of Plowshares, I can Caracas. Keep my Uro in the mix here. Alright, they had 2 plows, sure. Got a 3 for 0 there. And put in Coliseum. Oh, I should have put in Tundra. What am I even doing? I'm just like over here clicking random cards. Oh wow, when this flips back, it does that too. Clearly never read this card completely. Or transforms into Brutal Cathar. Alright. Yeah, that's good. Oh no. Beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 target artifact or creature you control, then return it to the battlefield. Oh god. Is that card beatable? Probably not. Flicker your recruiter and go off. Yep. Wish I had played my Tundra. I don't know what I can do to de-stress about the clock. Like, if I wasn't playing fast, I would have recognized information has changed and put Tundra into play. Dredge Loam. Cast Loam. Activate Cephalid Coliseum again. Drew 3 more lands to go with my 3 lands. Cool. And I'm not sure if there are fetchables left in the deck, but I'm gonna play the fetch land. And do I want to get rid of this teleportation circle? They just searched up Solitude, so the 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think this card's beatable. Get rid of that. Continue my chump parade on the Batterskull. I think my basic island is still on the deck. I'm going to do a quick peek. Alright, there is a basic and a tropical island still on the deck. That's lucky. We're porting my red. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Cycle Ketria Triome. I'm genuinely worried about decking at this point, and there's 1 endurance in my deck somewhere. Timeless Dragon. Shuffle this. Not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is Uro. Ended up with that anyway. Okay, the tropical island is still on the deck, so I get 1 more double zombie situation. Do I want to pay 3 life to get rid of this vampire, werewolf, whatever, just shouting words? I think so. Because it's going to flip again and eat another zombie, just something that I don't really want to occur. I can escape the Timeless Dragon from the graveyard. Alright, let's start doing this sort of shit. I know Solitude's over there. If I can flush it out on the token and then get action off the actual 5/5 front half of the dragon, I would honestly feel okay about this game if we were playing in IRL with the round clock instead of the chess clock. Like, I think I'm going to time out. I'm definitely not going to win a game 3, but my engines are online. They're slowly running out of cards. I'm not. I will double block here. I should have fetched and triple blocked. Okay. 1 more land in my deck. Well, the Wastelands are both still in my deck, and there are fetch lands in there that don't do anything anymore. Ponder, good one. Narset into Brainstorm, I like that. Narset picks up Brainstorm or better. Yeah, Seeds of Innocence, not what I'm looking for. There goes an Uro to the bottom. Brainstorm. Applying all of these Loams. Oh god. Alright, well, Tundra going into the deck does mean that my Flooded Strand has a fetchable land left. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can attack with a zombie. Like they're about to equip Batterskull. I'll fire off the plow here on the recruiter, which also shuts down future flicker-based shenanigans. Field turn 14 Aether Vial. It's good stuff. My endurance is still in the deck somewhere. It's supposed to be. Supreme Verdict. And play Wasteland. I'm gonna waste the Caracas, then attack for 5 flying. Or, yeah, I need to gang block the Solitude next turn. I have Hardcast Force available. The Seeds can kill Batterskull and Vile. Just gonna gang block with my zombies here. We are at least demonstrating how this end game works. We're gonna time out, but I think I'm winning this game. Never gonna Dredge Loam again. Deciding if I need to Seeds now or if I can wait. I think I can wait. Like wait for them to bounce the Batterskull, redeploy it, whatever. Play to Plains, are we hardcasting Cauldra here? Yep. Force of Will. There's my Endurance. I'm gonna Seeds here. I just want the Batterskull and the Vile gone. When Vile gets to 3, everything changes. Attack with all my creatures. And flashing an Endurance in the end step puts lands in my deck where I can fetch again and make more zombies. Probably time for them to start reaching for their Yorion. Yep, there's Yorion. I think maybe I do actually Cyclave Apparition. That just takes the Narset that's already not doing anything. Deal. Right, I think I actually do Dredge Loam, Spike the Uro. I can see most of my deck here. Okay, so Dredge Loam. Did I miss on Uro? Really? It's an outrage. All right, Wasteland, Wasteland, and Ketria Triome. Play Wasteland, get a zombie, take out Caracas. There's 2 cards left in my deck. One of them's Uro. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, yeah, I'm 1 short. I tried to go for the Uro. Casting Yorion here. Indeed we are. All right. I'm gonna cycle Ketria Triome. Oh, there's Uro. You to arrive. There's not even really good flickers here, and I have Caracas to bounce the 4/5. Bounce Yorion. End step Endurance. This is why you leave 1 Endurance in your deck. The opponent said, "Oh snap," in the chat, like I wasn't playing to this the whole game. Come on, give me some credit. Still gonna leave Ketria Triome in my deck. Better as a card draw than as a land at this point. Tapping my red still. Uro. After it. Put Wasteland in. Narset. Dig. Grab Force of Will. Back with all my permanents. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this game is ours. It was ours 9 turns ago. Our engines have been online so long that we were always going to win this game, but I'm not going to win game 3 with 4 minutes on the clock. Okay. All right, 4 minutes. Is there any world? In Court of Grace, Timeless Dragon are my, like, cheese factor, if cheese factor even exists. We saw a lot of their deck, and they didn't have Saga, but I still think Serenity's good. Okay, this is what I got. Cephalid Coliseum was insane that game, though. We drew 6 cards off it in a time when the board state was kind of flat, and we needed action. Keep the hand. And go. Schadenport and Thalia. Alright, well, Thalia's dead. Tropical Island, fetch. I think I want Savannah here. Get my double green for Endurance. Get rid of Thalia. Spirit of the Lab, okay. Annoying, but also okay. Hopefully I could just eat it with Endurance. Alright, cool. Just tapping out pre-combat. This might get Solitude. Hope it doesn't. Go for Stoneforge Mystic or some shit that I can ignore. Other runes, don't care. Yes. Feed me. We could still have Solitude, but okay. Solitude, still there. Alright, Narset better than Timeless Dragon. I don't think so. I'm gonna get Tundra, play Tundra, and pass. Correcting my Timeless Dragon. Okay, whatever. God, I wish I had more than 3 minutes on my clock. This shit, they're down to 2 cards in hand. One of them's Mother of Runes. I'm holding Supreme Verdict. God, this game is mine. And that's part of making content. You're just talking and wasting a lot of time. Attack for 4. Any untapped land gets me Supreme Verdict. They can Rishadan Port. They can Mom and Rishadan Port. They can't tap me off of Narset here. Oh, that's not... I guess they did. They found a land that gets me off of Green Verdict. I do only have 2 white sources in play. Smart. Brainstorm, Prismatic Ending. The answer. That's weird. Why would you put 1 damage on Narset? I don't care that it's in play. Like, kill it or kill me. It doesn't make sense splitting the difference. Ponder, Prismatic Ending, white, blue. I'm gonna brainstorm this hand. Get rid of Expressive Iteration and Serenity. Play my land. Yes. Flicker Wisp, okay. It's a reasonable place to go here. Why didn't I plow that thing? Oh, right, because I'm going to Supreme Verdict. Someday I'll remember what I'm doing and why. They go for Palace Jailer here, that's kind of annoying. Just getting another Tundra. Want maximum white. Ponder. Light from the Loam, Narset. I'm going to shuffle this. White. Play my land. White. White. Blue. Blue. Supreme Verdict. Ponder. Light from the Loam, plow. Okay. 90 seconds left. What do you think, team? Spirit. Sure. Lion Sash. Sure. Plow the Spirit. Go to my turn. Draw. Loam. Colorless. Burrow. Blue. Green. Loam's in my graveyard now. That's going to cost me so many clicks. Oh, the Lion Sash. Play my land. Yeah, they have Flicker Wisp face up, so I couldn't just like Turbo Cheese Uro and hope it got there. Kingdom Prelate. Okay. Numbers 3. Okay. Island. Plains. Cycle Ketria Triome. Do not dredge Loam. I believe I'm easily winning this game with 5 minutes on the clock. But, you know, not mad about it. Just saying. Green, blue, blue, green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Land in. And I can't play Narset. Can play Serenity. Oh, I can Suffolk Coliseum. That's probably good with all these dead cards in my hand. Found the Force and play Serenity. And then I can force the Flicker Wisp and I win the game. But I'm going to time out because I have 2 seconds, but this is a win in the real world. Swords of Plowshares makes it a little worse. But, yep. Just ran out of time, which is the reason that you put Field of the Dead in your deck, because this matchup goes fucking forever. But it's actually really hard to lose this match, other than to the Moto Clock, the way that the deck is constructed. If you get your lands under you, if you get a Loam or 2 resolved and then actually cast spells, it's pretty trivial. Their hand right now is Flicker Wisp, Mother of Runes. With more time on the clock, I would have Force of Willed the Swords to Plowshares. It would have flickered Uro, which comes back, draws another card, and then I escape it, draw another card, Loam's active, and this game is a joke from there. But welcome to Magic Online. On to the final round. I'm on the play in the last round. This hand is not a keep. Doesn't make blue to ponder. This one looks good. I'm going to keep, and I'm going to play to the floor, not the ceiling. Bottom the Pyroblast. Every other card in my hand is playable in every matchup. Pyroblast is only playable in blue matchups, which, if this league is any indication. Birds of Paradise. Interesting. This Food Chain again. There are not many decks in the format that play Birds of Paradise. But I'm going to brainstorm and then end this thing. Brainstorm and put this Field of the Dead back for later. And get rid of a Force of Negation. I want Tundra. I don't want Savannah. Every land in my hand is green already. Let's get rid of that. Force is still up. Let's hope that was good. Always end the bird. Another bird. Gonna Uro here. Come on, fetch land. Nope. Okay. Uro's in the graveyard. 4 cards already hanging out with him. Force Will back up. Can slam Narset next turn. Baleful Strix. I don't want to Force of Will that, though it is very annoying. Right, I could brainstorm for the land, or I could just play Narset. I'm gonna brainstorm for the land. And Prismatic Ending, backup Narset. All right, Prismatic Ending and Ponder, I think, are the ones I'm gonna get rid of. And I'm gonna fetch Volcanic Island with this. Get my colors set up. Blue, blue, green, green are established for next turn. Narset. I am gonna fight back here. Fetch Brainstorm. Keep my backup Narset ready. On Force of Negation and Ponder, I'll take Force of Negation. I just have strong feelings this is a combo deck. Either Aloran or Food Chain. There's Strix, that doesn't draw a card. Beautiful. That card's a lot worse that way. Narset goes to 2. And I'm gonna play Uro. Get in there, big guy. I can cash in Narset for a card. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. It's not really a debate. I'm gonna grab another Force of Will because I'm still convinced this is a combo deck. Like Narset, if Narset was on 3, I might have just let her stay and play another turn and turn off their cantrips for a while, but her being on 2, they can just attack with their 2 creatures and do whatever they wanted to do in the second main. Ponder, Brainstorm. Yeah, that Narset was pretty good against their hand. Another Strix. We're down to 2 cards over there. Strixes are pretty good against Uro, but I also do get to ram in there. I think I want to Ponder first. Try to set up Uro to actually hit those land drops. And now we're in there for that. Uro attack. Put in the Ketria Triome. Get a block. It's fine. Wasteland and Narset. I get to activate Narset once, then they have to spend a turn attacking her. Brainstorm. YOLO Brainstorm on the way out here. At the very least, Narset made a Brainstorm awkward, and I count that as a W. Supreme Verdict. I like that a lot, actually. That just clears all these Strixes out of the way, and they need to come up with an answer to Narset, because they can only attack for 2 right now. And my hand is Force Blue card, Force Blue card. I'm going to pitch the redundant Uro here. Grist was a good find. Oh, I don't have 2 white. Fucking Supreme Verdict. This card's uncastable. Last card in the hand, Uro, pretty good one. It doesn't get to draw a card. I'm not going to fight over it here, though it is a nice follow-up post Wrath, if I have the white source to Wrath with. White source. Had it. Was never worried. Were you worried? Because I wasn't. Get Savannah, and then white, white, colorless, blue. Does trying to decide if wasting them does anything. I mean, it doesn't hurt. All right. Blue, colorless. I'm gonna Supreme Verdict and Wasteland. Let's try to constrict these options wherever I can. I'm gonna force their Uro, then play mine. Actually, do I need to force their Uro? Does that even matter? I could just play my Uro, force a removal spell if they find one. My Uro's better than theirs, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, they can cast theirs twice. Kind of interested in having the first attack with Uro. Yeah, I'm just gonna force it. Ooh, baby. Wasteland, Misty Rainforest, Flooded Strand. Blue, blue, green, green is covered over here. Oh. Loam. Put out Misty Rainforest, then Uro. Green, green, blue. I can respond to this trigger by pondering, or by getting ponder. I think that's worth doing. So then I draw the ponder, I play the Flooded Strand, cast ponder, looking for Swords to Plowshares. Oh, Endurance and Prismatic Ending both play as well, though. Okay, now I can answer their Uro, and then both exile it from play or hit it from the graveyard. My Loam will keep my Uro coming forever. If they don't force the action on Endurance on their graveyard, then I have the recursion forever, so I can't deck reasonably. That Uro is so sad. I mean, I've been on the side of the player Uroing into Narset, and ugly stuff. Red, blue, white. Jeskai mana. Uro, get in there. I'm not judging Loam. Put Wasteland in. I even get a Ponder for the road. Another Swords to Plowshares. I'll take the plow. I'm definitely ahead. It depends on if that combo half of their deck shows up. I guess it's possible they're just not even a combo deck. But I'm not spending plow on this. You can gain your 3 life and pass the turn. I'm gonna wasteland in the end step, which I don't normally recommend, but I just don't want them to have that much mana. I'm going to draw the Caracas, and then I'm going to fetch a basic island. I wouldn't fault anyone for just like racing for the Field of the Dead here by aggro dredging Loam, but I'm not super interested in that. I'm going to Swords to Plowshares this Coatl. Didn't really need to do that. After that clock last round, though, I'm just mega stressed in general. I'm not going to play my Caracas. I want them to invest the resources first before getting their Uro obliterated. Oh, they must have drawn another Coatl. Because they're not going for Uro. Timeless Dragon. Okay. Uro, let's go. Alright, I'll put the Caracas in now. You can see it. There. You got it. Yep, Uro's dead. I'm going to play Flooded Strand and use it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring back Uro. Get another card. And a Swords to Plowshares. Cast Timeless Dragon in Dragon mode. I have the plow for another Coatl. And I'm just crunching for millions of damage besides. Field of the Dead. Ding, 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 ding. There's the Coatl. I don't even need to plow here. I'm just trying to get the game over. It's probably right not to plow, actually, because all of the creatures that they could trade with just come back. Oof. Supreme Verdict, backed by Narset, finally showing up big in a match. All right, my opponent has 8 Baleful Strixes in their deck. Maybe they're not a combo deck. Maybe they are just actually just bug Strixes. Carpet of Flowers seems good. They have a lot of basic lands in their deck. They're either hedging or they are the punish. I should probably expect back to basics or something. The Pyroblast lineup well against all of their dinguses. Wasteland's not great here. Can upgrade that to basic planes. Court of Grace could be dangerous against all the random shitters they have. Could also just win the game on its own. Right, if I'm bringing in Supreme Verdict, okay, I think I'm going to start playing like they're not a combo deck. I have the Pyroblast in to control creatures and just all forces in a Wasteland out. I could bring in Surgical for an Uro mirror, but between Caracas, my now 12 ways to kill Uro, 8 of them exile it, plus Endurance. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I could bring in my Canonist to just like acknowledge the possibility that they're an Aloran or Food Chain deck. But what would I cut at this point? Because right now my squad's kind of loaded up. Court of Grace is probably the card I would cut for Canonist. But like Baleful Strix on their turn, Icefang Coatl on my turn, back and forth. I don't really like my odds in a Canonist game if I'm not 100% sure they're a combo deck. Oh, this is too many cards anyway. Guess Court of Grace gets the X. Or I could cut a Carpet and get a Court back. Okay, I'm going to do this. I really like Court of Grace in these fair grindy matchups. Even ones with 8 1/1 flyers. The Birds of Paradise is sus AF though, especially in multiple copies because they had 2 birds last game. Oh god. Well, I'm going to keep. Didn't see a Wasteland last game. Gotta hope that's not part of the plan. A Ponder. Got it. Goes to Shuffle. Alright, trust in the process. Found a land. I can hold up Swords to Plowshares here. I guess we saw Icefang Coatl. That's a reason to have basics. It's not necessarily anything to do with back to basics. So back to basics would line up well with their deck. I think I want to get basic planes just in case. I have so many white cards in my hand. Punished immediately. Oh, there's no plateau in the deck, so not like fetching there would have allowed me to do everything I wanted to do that turn cycle. Uro. Okay. Alright. This aggressive turn 3 Uro is a little scary. Get to see 4 cards this turn. Show me some lands. Cool. I think I do want to brainstorm in my main phase still, because Hull Breacher is a card they might have. Like, if you're accelerating from 1 mana to 3 with Birds of Paradise, especially in multiples, I want to respect a card like Hull Breacher. Word of Grace so close here. Catria Triome or Prismatic Ending. This is a lot of Prismatic Endings. And I'm going to get rid of the Catria Triome. I'm going to Volcanic Island Ponder right now. I just want to hit my land drop, and if they don't do anything, I really want to be able to Court of Grace. Oh god. Good Ponder. I'm just kind of betting here that my tap out strat will be better than theirs. And they fetched... I guess they didn't fetch these Bayous. They have 2 Bayous, though. Carpet of Flowers. Yeah, that one's a beater. Get 2 mana immediately off this carpet. And another Uro. Okay. The second Uro is not as bad as the first. They don't... It's not a card that works well in multiples. Uh-oh, there's more. Be following up with a Strix here. That's what it looks like to me. Yep. Okay, land? Yeah. Alright, there's the land. Now I have a couple options here. I can Prismatic Ending Carpet of Flowers and just hope that... Like, do I think mana is an axis that's going to be really important in this game? And, like, mana is always important in control mirrors, but, like, you need stuff to do with your mana, and they have 2 cards in hand. I don't really want a Prismatic Ending a Strix, but I'm not above it. I think I'm going to start with a Ponder and see where that goes. Ooh, Supreme Verdict is a good place for Ponder to go. Alright, I'm going to put Ponder, Supreme Verdict, Tundra. Not going to shuffle. Now I'm going to Prismatic Ending the Carpet, because I can mop up all these creatures at once. The alternative plan was to exile the Strix, let them have their zillions of mana, and try to jam Court of Grace and go bigger than them. Ponder's fine. Okay, you are a combo deck. Bad news. Alright, hopefully I can Pyroblast an important blue creature. I'm gonna go for the Cavern Harpy. That's what I'm gonna wait for here. Oh, Asurek, we're just fucking dead. I can Brainstorm in response. That's my chance here. I know my top card doesn't help, so I should... Yeah, there's no forces in the deck. I have to hit Swords to Plowshares here. I'm gonna get Savannah. Yeah, there's 3 plows that can get me out of this. Brainstorm. Come on, plow. Nope. Alright, we're dead. Aloran confirmed. And them being an Asurek build and not a blue-based build is rough. Okay. Court of Grace is out. I have to treat this like a combo deck again. Court of Grace out. I still think Supreme Verdict's good. Carpet is probably still good, but I need to make room somehow. Prismatic Ending looking a lot worse. Pyroblast also looking a lot worse. I could get all the way off Wasteland, just play 22 lands, and get a... I mean, the Canonists do shut down Allura in business, but they're really bad against the Uro half of the deck. I cut a Supreme Verdict and a Wasteland. That gives me 2 Ethersworn Canonists. I can even flash those in off Aloran to shut down the combo, mid-combo. Kind of interested in Surgical Extraction against the Uro part of the deck. I have enough removal to get through Strixes, or I can gain life myself, but you have Carpets to hit with Prismatic Ending. Swords of Plowshare is really important to disrupting the combo. I could just hedge on Force of Wills, like have some in the deck if they go for it, but the Force of Wills is really bad against the Strix Uro half of the deck. Okay, I'm doing this. I like this one. I'll keep it. I've said a lot on the channel lately about how you want a combo kill in your control deck, whether it's Days Undoing or Allurin or Food Chain or whatever. Just the 4-color decks playing as fair as they do is just always a concern to me. Swords to Plowshares. And Brainstorm. Canonist's good. Field of the Dead is the worst card in this hand, but it's also the bonus land for Uro, but I'm probably on Narset anyway. So probably field and endurance are the pitches. This is where they juke me, and they've been a back to basics deck the whole time. I'm prepared for that world. I believe Narset is better than Uro. Just cutting off their stuff early and often. Backup Narset or backup Plow? I think it's Narset. Give me that instep Coatl. Oh my god. Carpet. Yeah, that's a lot of mana. They could allure in the second main. That would be real shitty. Made green. They're fetching. Alright, they're gonna have allure in here. I can flash in Uro and flash in other Sworn Canonist, though. Things get frisky. They can't draw extra cards. Alright, here's Uro that doesn't draw cards, it just gains life. And also puts lands into play if you have them. Acererak, the Arclich. I'm gonna Uro in response. Gain 3 life. Put a land into play. A flashing Canonist. And hope they can't remove it. You get to enter the dungeon a little bit. Lost Mine of Pandelver. So Acerek's in their hand, Uro's in their graveyard. Uro's also in my graveyard. There is a Swords to Plowshares in my graveyard that I can pick up with... Oh, nope. I'm not in Mystic Sanctuary world yet. Alright, draw for turn. Prismatic Ending. I am a 4-color deck, aren't I? It's kind of the whole thing here. Though the Aloran is not... Or the Aloran does matter, yeah. This is tricky. They can Acererak on my turn, and Acererak on their turn, and like work their way through various dungeons. And make a Goblin token. The Goblin token kills Narset if I attack, so I'm not attacking. Could just Ponder. And if Ponder finds a green source, I still don't get Uro because my Plains doesn't cast Uro. Got it. I think... Oh. Coatl is... Yeah, I lose Narset this turn if I don't exile Aloran no matter what. So, is casting Acererak over and over again a real plan to actually win the game? Because if I attack, they make a Goblin token. The next... I'm losing Narset no matter what, actually. Okay, so I have to ignore Aloran and hope that Canonist holds. Which means that I probably just want to pop Narset. I have a backup one. Alright, I'm going to pop Narset and hope I'm not dead in response. It would be hard to kill me in response, though. Swords to Plowshares fucks up the Acererak. That's good. Cycling Timeless Dragon. Gonna get Savannah. And that sets up my blue, blue, green, green for next turn. I do still have my spell for the turn. If I cast my spell, they get their Acererak, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna Ponder. Another Canonist, that's fun. And another Uro, also fun. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I can Plow. Alright, yeah, I'm not attacking, because then the Goblin beats start happening. Oh, Endurance. A hardy juke. Alright, my Uro's gone. Wink, wink. They get millions of mana here. They can cast their Uro. I have Swords to Plowshares. Or no, they need another card in the graveyard. They can't cast Uro yet. Acerek's in the hand. It can make a treasure or a goblin. Oh, they made the mana and they decided against it. Changed their mind. Fair enough. I'm going to take 3 because Uro's going to gain those 3 life back anyway. Then in the end step, I'm going to cast Uro. And that's going to draw me Other Sworn Canonist, which is an artifact spell that I can also cast. Get another one of these in there. Prismatic Ending. Is it time to take out the Aloran? Do I care? I think I want Narset back down here. Blue. Blue. Colorless. Activate Narset. Get Expressive Iteration. That's an awkward card with Other Sworn Canonist around. The opponent gets to cast their spell for the turn. They could advance the dungeon, just chose not to. Okay. There's Acererak. Gonna advance the dungeon. Making a goblin or a treasure. A goblin, okay. Oh, that's an artifact. Smart. They're done casting spells for the turn, though, and the Strix doesn't get to draw a card. I'm actually gonna double block, I think. They can't cast any spells. I'm gonna double block here and plow the Coatl. I'm just trying to keep Narset at maximum health. And if I remove the Allurin, then I don't care about Canonist anymore. That's a good one. All right, Narset, do your thing. Do I want another Pyroblast or a Ponder? I think I want Ponder. And then I can green. Oh, right. Wait. Yeah, I need the red in the Allurin mess. That's fine though. Red, white, green, blue. Storeroom then clears Narset. Sucks. What is the end? Draw a card. Your creature gets -4/-0. That doesn't matter. I could iteration, but then it's the same problem. Yeah, I'm gonna ponder. I like Swords to Plowshares and Force of Will. Yeah, it sucks they get to Azarak in the end step, and I can't interact because of Canonist. It puts a +1 counter on Baleful Strix. Oh, they're draining and gaining. That's allowed. Carpet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Uro is still not castable. Well, if you crack the fetch, Uro is castable. But I don't care about Uro if Narset's in play. I'm probably Pyroblasting the Strix. That's my spell for the turn. This is a weird game, but I'm into it. I'm also about to be 5 minutes on my clock. I gotta... Wow, force pitching Uro. Okay. So they are committed to removing the Narset. That is their spell for the turn. Okay, now I don't need to think about Narset so much. Allurin, red, white, green, blue. Alright, kill the Allurin. They get one less Azarak for the road. And then I have Force of Will or Swords to Plowshares for the Uro. I am going to attack. It's time to beat down. 4 minutes on the clock. Gotta win now. I have no Planeswalker to protect for the first time in this game. I'd rather plow this Uro than force it. They've already cast their spell for the turn, so the plow is good. I've cast my spell for the turn, so force is off. I can F6. 2 cards in hand, one of them's Azarak. We're in the part of the game I described where Canonist starts to become more of a problem for me. Green, green, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's Uro time. Put in a fetch land. Also get my land for the turn. I'm going to offer the trade on Canonist. At this point, I'm okay with them casting 2 spells in a turn. I have Force of Will backup here. They would have to Allurin with Force backup out of their 2-card hand. Just don't want Strix trading for my Uro. And this unlocks my EI. So I guess I could have ended the carpet in the end step because Canonist was gone. This gets to hang out, right? Because they finished a dungeon. All right. Oh, you have to finish the specific dungeon. Okay, never mind. Going back into the Lost Mine. Gonna scry one. We're just playing AFR limited. They scry to the top and then immediately cracked a fetch land. That's just good fundamentals. Another Azarak. Making another 1/1 probably. Up another Goblin. It looks like they're trying to run out the clock here, which is a perfectly fine strategy, given that I've allowed the game to get to this point. Probably going to drain 1, gain 1. Giving Uro -4/-0 might do more than that, though. But if you're planning on chumping, drain 1, gain 1. Okay. Red Blast is a good one. Going to attack with Uro. No cards to put in. Red, blue, iteration. I'm going to put Prismatic in my hand, bottom Supreme Verdict, exile Ketria Triome, play my land for turn as Ketria Triome, Prismatic ending this carpet that's causing so many troubles, and Brainstorm. Life from the Loam, actually not good here. Uh-oh, I did tap out a Force because I'm an idiot. I should not have cast that Brainstorm, that was so bad. If you draw a Lorne right now and I die. Okay, just the Azarak. I can fetch and activate Cephala Coliseum in response to something if I need to draw 3, discard 3. I think I might actually just do that in the end step anyway. Azarak's back. Yeah, this looks like a great time to Coliseum for value. I know my top cards aren't good. I'm going to shuffle them away. get... Oh, Mystic Sanctuary. Oh no, that's a mistake. I'm going to target Expressive Iteration. Oh, I have to respond to that now with Cephalid Coliseum targeting me to make sure I still have Threshold. Right, discard land, and Prismatic Ending. Put EI on top. Draw it. Cast it. 2.5 minutes in this game. Uro in my hand. Island on the bottom. Exile Caracas. Play Caracas. Play Life from the Loam, targeting Cephalid Coliseum and 2 Flooded Strands. Green, colorless. Combat. Attack, put in Cephalid Coliseum. Don't dredge Loam, put in Coliseum. It's going to pass here. Once again, I feel like I'm winning this game, but the clock is a problem. Strix is annoying. Yeah, like all these things just aren't problems, except that I'm so far behind on clock. Like if I could just wade through this, like, yeah, attack, get my value off Uro, whatever, let's go. Not be a problem. Grist. I guess I do want to force Grist. That card's really annoying. Reb, your force. Okay, I'm going to Cephalid Coliseum in the end step again. Alright, I'm sold on Cephalid Coliseum. Big fan of this shit. Discard 2 lands and Uro. Go to my turn. Don't dredge. Ponder. I gotta get this Strix out of my way. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Don't shuffle. Don't loam. Pyroblast the Strix. Attack you with my Uro. Don't dredge loam. Put in land. Narset. Blue. Colorless. He's got Ponder. And we're just playing fast now. Haven't seen an Ice Fang Coatl yet. This jerk again. Make a Goblin again. That's such a tilt. Yeah, they're going to win this game on clock. Got to make a lot of like really risky and bad decisions here. Minus Narset. Got another Narset. Wow, this Goblin. God, that feels bad. And losing precious seconds to click through my Loam every time. Haven't found my Field of the Dead yet. Ponder. 2, 3. Do not shuffle. Do not dredge Loam. Yeah, I can't win this game in 22 seconds. But I can't lose this game with the clock on. So this is a reason that I stopped playing this deck. Just like the clock, you work so hard for every win. Like 11 seconds on the clock. Uro and Narset. I have Surgical for their Uros. Like, and this is the second round in a row that I've lost because of the clock. And maybe that just means it's a bad content deck, and it's fine, like, if you're actually playing. But those are the same things for me. And we time out in another unlosable position. Feels good, man. Okay, so a 1-4 record. We lost to 2 non-blue Aether Vial decks, and we timed out twice in matchups that we were 100% going to win if there was more time on the clock. My advice to you, watcher, is don't waste any time doing anything if you're going to play this deck. I mean, if it's on Moto, you don't respond in the chat. Don't, like, check your phone while your opponent's doing stuff. Like, you need every single second to play this game. If it's in paper, and the clock is a big reason that I got off this deck in paper as well. You end up going to time a lot. In paper, at least you can play fast. Like, on Magic Online, where you have to, like, click each Ponder card, decline Loam every time you don't want to Loam. Like, that adds up to minutes on the clock over the course of the game, where, like, in paper, you can take all sorts of shortcuts. And you can just, like, physically play faster. Just, like, grab your card, slam them into play. Like, you can... There's a lot of things you can do to mitigate that just don't exist on Magic Online. And sucks that our honorary 3-2 is actually a 1-4 due to the clock. But hopefully we learned things along the way. Like, both of the matchups we timed out, I think, were played pretty well. And Cephalid Coliseum got to shine in both of those. But there is a very clear overlap of matchups where Cephalid Coliseum is good and matchups that are going to go to time. That is a giant... The Venn diagram is a circle for the most part. The spells in the deck all showed up. Supreme Verdict was hard to cast as predicted. This is a blue-green deck splashing white and red. It's not a blue-white deck, and white-white is the core mana cost of Supreme Verdict. This card can be tough to cast. The sideboard Plains helps. I wouldn't want a main deck of Plains because we did run into Plains not casting Uro more than once in the league. Oh, the mana is an absolute mess. Having Field of the Dead and Wasteland across a deck that's trying to spend UU, GG, WW. The Timeless Dragons also being WW costs. Oh, there's a lot going on here. I don't know if this deck gets Field of the Dead, though I'd be much more comfortable playing this in paper than I am on Magic Online because I play fast. Also, a draw in paper is a thing that exists, or a 1-0 victory is a thing that exists in paper as well, which this deck is very good at getting. But the chess clock is your enemy. I think the sideboard needs a better map for non-blue creature decks, because when you're cutting 2 Force of Negation and Pyroblast just out of necessity because they're textless in the matchup, and you only have Supreme Verdict to bring in, like if it happens to be a blue creature deck, Pyroblast layers in, the Plains you can bring in, but even that's only 2 out of the 3. Court of Grace, depending on how many creatures they actually have. Seeds of Innocence came up against the Aether Vials, though I didn't feel great about it. I think we need another, like, Pyroclasm or Kozilek's Return or something to catch up. Because even, like, Is It Staticaster, maybe? There is a gap between the turn 1 Aether Vial and the Supreme Verdict that you hope is on turn 4 with the awkward mana versus decks that probably have Wasteland in them. Like, Supreme Verdict is probably a turn 5 or 6 play if you're being reasonable about your expectations of your mana and your opponent's ability to interact. Like Thalia plus Wasteland, this is automatically a turn 6 play, assuming you have white to even cast it. I want something to bridge the gap, like a Pyroclasm or Kozilek's Return, and I would feel a lot better in that world. Don't let the record distract you from the fact that this deck is really powerful. We were in dominating positions in 2 of the games that we lost. It was just a clock issue. And we also just paired into 2 horrible matchups in Goblins and apparently Food Chain combo Eldrazi, where I hope we at least got a clinic in how to deconstruct the Eldrazi aggro, because I was never losing to an Eldrazi in the game that we lost. They just runnered Food Chain Walking Ballista when they had nothing going on facing down an Uro. So that's magic. This was a tough league, and it's a slog when you sign up for this. Even if you believe it to be the best deck, you're committing to not getting a lunch break today. You're committing to a 3-hour league instead of an 1.5-hour league. There's a lot of commitments required to live this life. You have to be dedicated to it. I can't recommend this deck if you're just like a casual player of Legacy, like, oh, there's a local like FNM this week, what should I play? Don't play this. Come on. Like, you can't stop to think. You need to be always playing. You need to be playing quickly. You need to be playing well, and you're still going to go to time. You got to believe in the Uro life if you're going to play a deck like this. I do believe in the Uro life, and I'm still like, it's a hard sell on this. Spunky, thanks for giving me this deck. Cephalid Coliseum is awesome technology. I appreciate that contribution to the Loam Bant universe. Even if I don't personally think the deck is where I want to be right now, it's still really cool piece of innovation if I ever circle back to it. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for sticking it out this long in this grind fest. I'll see you next time.